I often talk about little ships on Aquaholic. Well, this is probably the smallest boat I've seen that I think would qualify for that little ship moniker, because this is an Aquastar 57. It's built in 2009 and it's absolutely rock solid. It's a really lovely thing. Now, this is not about accommodation, although the accommodation is very good. This is about seakeeping, and what's interesting about this boat is the fact that this is a Category A ocean RCD rating, and that is unusual on a sub 60-foot boat. They're normally Category B offshore and not normally Category A, but this is. It's lovely. It's really, really, as I say, it's just a really solid, proper little motor yacht, and I'm going to take you on board and I'm going to give you the full tour. Now, interestingly, we've got side access here and the decks come right down. You can see how low that is, so that we can step aboard amidships. We don't have to go round onto the back and then climb up onto it. We can just step on here. Look at that, isn't that nice? And this then will take us around. We're obviously going to do the full tour on this one, but I'm going to take you inside first of all. We've got the cockpit here. This table will fold out to twice its size. We've got Jack the Sack with us today for a change. And of course you can put chairs on this side as well. And there's also a canopy. It actually comes down from here, so this unzips, you can bring it down, and then it goes all the way around and encloses this area if you want it to. We've got flybridge as well. We're going to look at that, but we're going to head inside first of all. I love the way they've put these curved doors onto here rather than the usual just straight flat panes of glass. Deck locker over on that side, and interior is just here. Now, it's a galley aft layout, which for 2009 is quite unusual, but very nice, because it caters obviously really well for this area, but also for the outside. And it's quite nicely specified as well. So we've got things like a dishwasher on here, for example. Fridges in that one. There's another fridge on the boat as well. Storage, of course, all the way around here. So this is cutlery, for example, and there is crockery tucked away in places like this. All very nice, isn't it? What's nice with these is you can leave these open and they clip shut, but then you can lock them like that, so when you're out at sea you ain't got to worry about this coming open. It's all electric cooking on this one. There's a generator on board as well as shore power, of course. Big sink over here. Nice big windows here as well. Great view out while you're doing a bit of catering. And then you've got this nice little settee tucked away on this side. This is again is bits of storage about the place. But the main dinette area is actually up these steps. So it's a raised area. And that's a really nice comfortable area with a really great view out. You've got these big windows all the way around, as I say, you're raised up. You've also got a desk over on this side. So that's nice for a bit of work, and a TV that retracts back inside if you want it to. Side access door as well, and look how everything is this stainless steel everywhere. You can see it on here, you can see it on the hinges, you can see it on the window frames. That's what I mean about it being so solid. And you've got things like the rails in the ceiling here as well. It's designed for offshore use, this one, and it's fantastic. Let's have a look at the helm. That's up here. I did see, there we go, another fridge just there. I knew there's another one somewhere. Helm is here, as you probably worked out for yourself. Now here we've got things like the control system for the boat is all controlled from here. This is quite unusual on a boat of this age, but this one's got it. Also, track stabilisation, so fin stabilisers on this one, which is great. Autopilot is in behind that one. And then we have the multifunction displays. These, of course, you can set up with chart if you want to, thusly. Or you might have radar or dashboard or fish finder or whatever else you want to have on here. You touch these. In fact, there's a camera system on here as well. I don't know whether it's fired up at the minute. Video. Let's try that. See what it gives us. There we go. That's the view out the back of the boat. So when you're berthing, you can actually see the bathing platform as you come in. We'll have a wander around the deck, as I say. Combination. There we go. Engine room, rear cameras on both sides, and so forth. Caterpillar engines on this one, and the instrumentation for those is there. And then we've got things like searchlight controls. We've got bow and stern thruster. I think I'm right in saying hydraulic on here as well. Engine controls are back here. That is a place of business, isn't it? Great visibility. If I sit here, check that out. That's really good. I like as well the fact that the wood in this, you can see it in places like this, is not high gloss. Most boats of this age were high gloss. This has got more of a satin finish, which is what we're seeing on more modern boats. So again, it just feels nice and up to date. And that is a steam train. We're down in Kingsbury at the moment at Darthaven Marina. Let's head down and take a look at the lower deck. Now this is a 3 cabin layout. We'll head forward first of all because that's the VIP cabin. Check that out. That's a nice size. Considering this is not an accommodation biased boat, so it's not been built for maximum internal volume, it's been built for going to sea. Nonetheless, it's got a really nice interior on it. There's a hatch up overhead, so that one is in behind there. We've got a bug screen on there as well, which is very helpful. And storage all the way around here. There's also, having fun with a steam train today, aren't they? Hanging here, more storage here, and a bit more storage down underneath here. Drawer under the bed. Vacuum cleaner, very helpful. There we go. There is ensuite access to the heads here, and this is shared with cabin 3. So it's a day heads accessed from here, but at night it's ensuite to this one. I'll show you in here first of all, and then we'll go across and work our way around. So this one is cabin 3. We've got bunk beds in here. It's being used mostly for storage, as you can see, but nonetheless it's a perfectly good, decent sized cabin. And we've got, again, storage in places like this, hanging rail in there, and if we loop on round, it's in here as well. Very nice. Pretty sure there's air conditioning on this one. I've seen the vents around the place like this. That's normally what those are for. It's going to be that sort of video, isn't it? Okay, this one here then, day heads, and let me put a light on in here, which is, oh, it's down in here, isn't it? There we go. There we go, that side up. So that's that door that we saw into the forward cabin. We've got the heated towel rail in here as well, which is nice. And then a decent separate shower area with, as you can probably hear, an extractor fan. So that is that. I'm going to show you as well, just while we're in this area, there's really good access to some of the engineering spaces. So down here, again, all beautifully stainless steel trimmed. You can see that's down to things like the plumbing and wiring and that kind of stuff. Bit of storage in there as well. They've got a bit of gear in there. I think that's seating in there, which we'll see, I think is probably for the front. Grey waste pump is in there. You can see that's down over there. So all nice and get-atable. And it lights up as well when you open it, which is great. There we go. Like this flooring, they've put carpets in the cabins, but they've kept this all nice and practical when you're just walking through to use the day heads and that sort of thing. You're on this sort of surface. It's not actually real teak, I don't think. I think it's that composite, but it's very nice to walk on, but it's also very, very hard wearing. And in fact, when you consider the age of this boat, you can see, look at this. 2009 boat, and yet superb, isn't it? If we head back down here then, we will find the owner's cabin. How nice is that? What they've done with this is put big windows on both sides, so you've got a great view out from here as well. And in fact, that centre one opens, so you've got ventilation. But I mentioned we're down at Darthaven, and that's the view out of the window. Isn't that nice to wake up to of a morning? There's blinds, of course, that drop down over these. This is all storage all the way along here. Not going to open it all because there's so much of it, but to give you an idea, it's this kind of stuff. Like so. We've got AV equipment in here, so we've got the stereo, we've got the TV, drawers down here, and then there is hanging locker there. And, in fact, also there. Isn't this woodwork lovely? I'm very taken with this boat. Look at the way they've quartered the door. It's nice, isn't it? Little dressing table over on that side, or another desk if you want to use it for that. Again, we've got the windows in behind here, blinds down on this side, but you can pull this up. And you've got a similar sort of deal over here. There we go. But that's a nice area, isn't it? That whole cabin worked really, really well. Fantastic. Now there's an ensuite to this one, of course, and that is behind me. Here we go. Again, we need to flip the lights on. This is quite amusing. There we go. Have a little pause and read of that. Again, we've got the hull windows here. Of course, there's blinds that come across there. And again, separate shower in there with the extractor fan. Brilliant. And a little window there for a little mirror wave. Even these worktops, everything's nice and contemporary, isn't it? Doesn't feel old-fashioned. But yeah, that is a nice place. This yacht was actually owned for most of its life by Keith Mustoe. Now, Keith Mustoe is an Olympic sailing champion from the 60s who went on to form Mustoe Clothing, who I'm sure if you're into boats you will have heard of. So it's got some provenance. Let's head on out of here. We'll take a turn around the decks. We will go up onto the flybridge, of course, and then we will head down and have a look at the engine space, because that's really nice as well. There we go. Did I mention side access door? Yes, I did, didn't I? Let's go to the back for two reasons. We'll do the whole of the decks that way, but also my shoes are back here. There we go. Put those little fellas on and head on round. These are fillers down underneath here, tucked away. Fuel fillers on that side. I think it's water on the other side. Decent sized bollards, but also stern rope handling winches. And in fact, while we're back here, I'll show you the bathing platform. Now this predates lifting platforms. What you have on here is a crane to lift the tender on and off, which I think is this chap here. Yep, I'm going to say with some confidence it's that chap there, and indeed I think that is also a passerelle, so it will swing out and allow you to stern to board from there. Yeah, there we go, Besons-only. And that chap there is a remote control, I think I'm right in saying, or a receiver for remote control, so when you're ashore you can power that back in. Look at the stainless steel name on here as well. It's all so nicely done, isn't it? That one there is access to the lazarette. I'm going to take you a different way into that, but we will have a look at that. But let's head forward first of all. That's one of the cameras that we were looking at for when you're docking. There we go, Aquastar. So we'll head forward. Again, nice big wide decks, nice high rails. This is what I mean about what is stainless steel around areas like this. Got a lovely curved screen on here as well, stainless steel wipers. Oh, it's a proper job, isn't it? Now those cushions we saw, I think I'm right in saying, you've got sunbathing cushions here, and that's what those little tracks are for, so that it'll keep those in place for underway. But also there's a little seat up here on the front, brilliant for dolphin spotting. And then a proper foredeck. Look at that. That's a motor yacht foredeck, isn't it? With the bulwarks that go around it, and then the anchor is actually recessed into the stem. There we go. Anchor winch, of course. You've got deck lockers up here for anchor chain and so forth. There we go. You can see the chain in the centre there. Canopies, that kind of thing. There we go. Oh, it's all sounding very nautical. Let's look at Dartmouth. Let's step up here. Actually, we'll see it better on the flybridge in a minute, won't we? But yeah. What a lovely place, isn't it? Let's not get distracted. Let's carry on. So if we come back around here, so the helm, of course, is there, as we saw. Again, look how wide these decks are to walk around. And these are for a windscreen cover that wraps all the way around here, so when you're leaving the boat it protects it from the sunlight beating in onto things like the instrumentation. Again with the stainless steel and the name there. Fabulous. Love these overhangs as well. Very nice. Another side access door, same as the one we saw on the other side when we came on. These are the engine vents here, feeding the Caterpillar engines with air. And these, I think I'm right in saying, for the canopy. So when the canopy comes down, it slides into there and then wraps around. Again, this lovely stainless steel work. Fabulous. Okay, flybridge next then. go, the little pin lights. And this closes down so that when you've got that cockpit enclosed, obviously you don't have the rain coming down through here. Love this rail here as you come up through. That works well. There's a little bar area up here, so we've got barbecue, we've got the sink there as well, and that little chap there, it's a cool box. And then there's a fridge just down there. And then this is the flybridge helm. So again, we've got the Raymarine instrumentation doubled up, we've got the Caterpillar instrumentation, compass of course, engine controls. These are the bow and the stern thruster controls, and the autopilot, speed, depth, all that kind of stuff. Track stabilization, again controlled from here, trim tabs, so everything you need, even a counter for the anchor winch, so it counts the chain as it goes out. There we go, it's a better view. Fabulous. Doesn't that look proper? I really like this. Let's carry on. So, stating the obvious, seat here, of course, you've got little armrests that come down as well, which is nice. So when you're cruising, you can drop those down, or you can snuggle up with whoever you're with, depending on, well, whoever you're with. That was a searchlight control there, and we've got VHF on here as well. It looks like this stuff's been upgraded. I don't think that's 2009, I might be wrong. And there's a bimini top. So this one here, this unzips, and you take that off, and then this whole thing folds forward, gives you shade up here. And this one, I've got no idea. Let's have a look, shall we? Storage, so that's all the canopies for up here and that sort of thing. That makes sense. That's a good idea. Right, let's release that little spring so we can fold it back down again. There we go. And then back here, lovely seating area. Table folds out. That sounded very noisy, didn't it? Table folds out like that, so you can dine all the way around there, or you can fold it up for a bit more room. And again, you've got a little bit of bimini at the back there as well, for a bit of shade. It's a nice spot, isn't it? And up on top, satellite domes, searchlight is up there, and the Raymarine radar scanner. I'm pretty certain it's got new kit because that is a recent scanner. They only came out a couple of years ago. Nav lights are up there as well. Antennas are up there. All that kind of stuff. Lovely. Let's come right on back. See what's back here. Life raft is back here. And then a bit of a walk around the back as well. And these are life buoys. Somebody goes in, you can toss them a life buoy, and they got the light and everything, and they can float around while you while you recover them. It is nice, isn't it? Again, look at the stainless steel work around the place. Proper little ship, isn't it? Let's go and have a look at the lazarette area and the engines. So we're back down here, and this time we will go in this way. Took my foot off it, it would help. There we go. Right. So the lazarette is the first thing we find. And that door that I mentioned that was on the bathing platform, or built into the transom, is that one just there. So you have got that way in or out as well. There is laundry facilities down here, and there's also a pretty substantial generator down here. There we go. And then we've got, you know, usual stuff you find, cleaning gear and so forth. Look at this little sink they've put down here. Ha! Great access to the stern gear. So that's the top of your rudders there, or rudder stocks at least, and then shore power cables, all that kind of stuff. That's where it lives, and it's also got a dock power dual shore cord isolation transformers, which is excellent. What does that do? I don't know. I'm sure Google will tell you. Let's go and look in here. Ooh, there we go. They're on nice powerful gas struts. And this is the engine space. Look how clean this is for the age of boat. Now this is proper simple stuff. It's straight shaft drive. You can see them coming out and going down through here. And big Caterpillar diesels. Just the sort of thing you need. Now this is, as I think I mentioned right at the beginning, it's a semi-displacement boat. It's not a planing boat. So rather than bouncing across the top, it pushes through the water. And the difference with that is the fact that it's not as fast because it's not skimming, but it does have serious sea-keeping advantages. You find, for example, most lifeboats, pilot boats, that sort of thing, they all tend to be semi-displacement because they just punch through the waves rather than bouncing across them. These are C15 Caterpillar engines. They are 865 horsepower each. And they're giving a top end of a bit over 20 knots, I think 23 if I remember rightly. And cruising therefore, well, because it's semi-displacement, you can cruise pretty much wherever you want. 17 knots is a fast cruise. And I've got range figures at about 300 miles. I think that's at 17 knots, and I suspect that if you drop the speed right back, you will get an awful lot further than that. You need to check with the broker to be sure, but I would imagine, yeah, at sort of more displacement speeds, you probably, I don't know, maybe even triple that range. Other things I can show you while we're in here, the track stabilizers we mentioned, that's this side of those, so they go through the hull just there. So another thing that this one's got, if I remember rightly, oh, like this little hose pipe in here, look, for cleaning. That's the camera that we were looking through when we were looking on the multifunction display up at the helm. And I've got a feeling this has got fuel polishing on it somewhere. I'm sure I saw that on the spec, but I have to say, I don't know where it is. This is nice, it's got the twin filters on each side, and so you can change over. If you get a fuel blockage, you can swap from one to the other very easily. That's the hydraulics for the bow thruster. Big exhaust silencers over here, look at that. That's fantastic, isn't it? And then we've also got some of the electrics is down here. Fire extinguisher. These are automatic systems. You don't need to come down and actually set that off. If there's an emergency, it would deal with that for you. Very nice, isn't it? Very nice. Lovely. It's serious kit, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Good, let's close that one back over. There we go. Perfect. Very, very nice indeed. Let's come back out of here. That's a very convenient handle. Lovely. Let's go back to the bow. This is traditional. Well, there we go. Aquastar 57. A proper little ship, I think you'll agree. Let me know what you think of that one in the comments. Massive thanks to Ancaster, they organised this tour. Massive thanks as ever to you guys for watching it. But let me know what you think of that one, and we'll catch you on one of these real soon. Take care, bye-bye.